Yeah, guys, I did it. You know what? It's true. At work, I didn't get that promotion, and it's okay because life goes on, right? And then when you're old enough, and when you're single guy, you can do whatever you want. I was like, I'm going to Puerto Rico. I'm gonna spoil myself, and I'm going to Puerto Rico instead because I deserve it. Welcome back, you guys, to another video. In today's video, I take a spontaneous weekend trip to Puerto Rico. So I used to live in the UK, right, a couple years ago, and my favorite thing about living in the UK was the proximity to warm countries and warm places and weekend trips. It was just so normal to do that. I would go to Portugal, go to Canary Islands, a few different places, and it was easy, it was cheap, it was affordable. So ever since I moved to New York, I told myself I wanted to try out the whole Puerto Rico thing. I heard so much about Puerto Rico. Always wanted to go. I'm working on my Spanish, so booked the trip, and I said I'm going. Got to the airport, and everything was going pretty smooth. Checked in early, no problems there. I will say, though, that a trip to Puerto Rico is not as cheap as, a trip to Portugal when you're living in London, because I guess it's further away and just everything in the US is way more expensive. But the flight was really beautiful. It was fast, it was convenient. It was 3 hours and 30 minutes. And I got to the Airbnb and it was really nice. The area I stayed in was called Santurce. And it's actually considered kind of like the hood a little bit, but it has this grit, it has this cool energy. And it's where all the parties are actually, all the clubs, the nightclubs, everything like that. So of course, it was right up my alley because it wasn't super touristy. It was touristy in a party way, but not really like a family tourist thing. But that doesn't mean that I didn't want to do touristy stuff, because on this trip, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I just pretty much packed it with a bunch of different activities, which I don't normally do. So my first thing I did was zip lining. I'd done zip lining once in Costa Rica, and it was one really long zip line from what I remember. But when I did it here in the El Yuque forest, I might be pronouncing that wrong. It was multiple different zip lines, and it was really fun. Here I got to really interact with a lot of Puerto Rican people and talk to the guys leading the trip. I had a really amazing experience. It was so much fun. It was really scary, but I survived. And then Old San Juan. This area is so cool. I didn't feel like I was in America. I guess it's a territory of America, but I felt like I was in Europe or somewhere in Latin America. Like Puerto Rico definitely has its own flavor. I talk about that later, but yeah, I just loved walking around Old San Juan. There's a ton of nice restaurants, and this area here was majestic. It's a park that they have right at the tip of Old San Juan, and there's a cathedral at the back and a castle, and it was just so beautiful. Now people just hang out here and they relax, and it's just the views of everything. You can see 360 views. All right, so the next day, I wanted to do some jet ski stuff. I'd never done jet ski before. I always hear about it. I was like, I got to try this, and no better place than Puerto Rico to try it out. So when I thought of using a jet ski, all I think about is the fact that I remember a couple years ago, I heard that Sean Kingston who's a famous Jamaican artist. He was badly injured in a ski-doo accident, right? So that's what's in my head. It's like, oh wow, people can be really badly injured. And of course, kind of makes sense. You go pretty fast. But yeah, it wasn't as hard as it looks, and so much fun. I will say it's very tiring because you're out in the sun, like you're bouncing on the waves, like it's pretty intense, but it was so much fun. And if this could be my main method of transportation, I think I would probably just stick with this, to be honest. I was so scared that I was going to lose my DJI Action camera because I was holding it in my hand. I didn't have any accessory to attach it to me. Hey, who's that? Oh, yeah, it's my little DJI camera. Oh, love that little thing. Of course, I had to head over to the beach. The beach was really beautiful. Didn't explore the really, really nice beaches because those are islands and you got to take a boat to get there. Later that night, I explored some of the nice fine dining and bars. This place is called Kumo. Really cool. They had a DJ playing Afro beats and reggaeton, and the drinks were so cool. Had smoke on it. It was a vibe. After that, just went to sleep, and then the next day, got up and did it again. Far, having a great time on the trip. I can't believe how fast it's gone by. There's just so many things to do in San Juan. Like, honestly, my culture shock is that even though it is a part of the US, it literally does feel like a Caribbean city. It doesn't feel like the US at all. Like, one of the main things I feel like the US is really just, there's a lot of infrastructure compared to other like Caribbean countries I've been to. And then also you see like the stores you recognize, not everywhere, like in Miami or something, or like in Hawaii, but you still see like a Walgreens there. There goes a Walgreens. And then there's like a Church's Chicken, and then you'll see like banks you recognize. So all that stuff contribute to it feeling more familiar and stuff. But I will say, we're for sure in Latin America. It's 100% like Latin American vibes for sure. And yeah, like a lot of people, they know English, but not even that much. And a lot of them have never been to mainland before. So that just shows how it's its own cultural area and enclave. This little bar that I found was incredible because it feels like you're at the beach, but you're actually at a bar, and they bring food over to you and drinks and stuff. So it's a lazy way of chilling at the beach. I ordered some empanadas. I got too many drinks, and I was just relaxing. And man, this is one of the places, I don't want to be too quick to say these things, but I feel like Puerto Rico is maybe one of my favorite places in the world. Like, I said that about Hawaii, and that's definitely, they're both like top two. I just don't know what it is. They completely blew my expectations, and it's been amazing. I would say coming to Puerto Rico, me practicing Spanish for a couple months really did help, because although a lot of people in the tourist areas know how to speak Spanish, it's a lot of people don't, and it's less than I expected. And even people who are fluent, you could tell they don't really, speak it at home and stuff. It's kind of like more for work. So that's something I really liked about it too, because it made me feel like, wow, like Puerto Rico is super authentic. Like, more than being like America, it's actually more like a Latin American country. The food's been so good. Mofongo, just eating all the fresh fish, just so much good stuff. The amazing drinks, the pina coladas. Pina coladas were invented here. I'm just ranting at this point, but been having a really good time here, man. A nice refresh. It's nice to get away from the city sometimes, just have a little reset. This is probably one of the most spontaneous trips I've ever done, but it's been on my list for so long to check out Puerto Rico, and I'm so glad. I was gonna put it off, but honestly, I'm so glad that I came here. The beaches are beautiful, you guys. Yeah, I don't know if I'm really adding much value at this point, but I'm gonna have a breakdown a little bit later of some other things from the trip and just some advice if you'd like to travel here yourself. The empanadas showed up. I was one happy man. I love empanadas. Puerto Rican empanadas are fire. And ate those up my last day. It was a beautiful 3-day trip. Friday to Sunday. Enjoyed every minute of it. And thank you for watching the video, you guys. Make sure if you liked it to subscribe, leave a comment, all those good things. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.